All right, week 8, we are under the lights, the new lights here at Veterans Memorial, the 50-yard line. We got the moon in the background. It's October. This is really football weather now. I don't have a sweatshirt. Probably should have got it, but Northwestern Lehigh, let's just call it is. Right now they're a class above. They're one of the best teams in the state. You guys did move the ball the first couple of plays. I think you had 2 10-yard runs. Juju goes down, and you get out of there with a 35-0 loss. What are your thoughts on it?
They're a good football team. We felt going in, we could compete. So we were +11 with Juju until he got dinged up. Not an excuse. We have to figure out a way. I told our kids, I think the big separation right now with Northwestern Lehigh and everyone else is the fact that those kids have played so much. I think I said last week, they played 16 games last year, played a lot more games, almost a full season more than our kids over the course of the last 2 years than our seniors did. So, and you can tell. And I told our kids before the game, we never want to be intimidated by anyone. You never want to wear another man's jersey.
Right, yeah.
All right, but I told them, but the bottom line is, I wasn't as worried about Northwestern Lehigh in the field Friday night as I was with what they've did in the previous 12 years since Coach Snyder's been there. What we're doing is all new, and it's only happened since March. What those kids are doing, they are very comfortable, very familiar. They've built a program, they've established their system and their tradition, and they're doing a great job down there. And hats off to them. I'm sure, hopefully, they'll go out and represent our league well, deep in the postseason. But it was a learning experience for us, and we move on to week 8 here at home.
And with Juju going down, what does that do for morale?
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough, obviously. It's just because he's really emerged as a really good football player and a really good running back for us, and to the point where we really have totally limited his reps defensively the last few weeks to keep him fresh for the stretch run, so we can eliminate situations like happened last Friday night. And you can't control that; it happened anyway. But certainly he's a guy that our offensive line has really developed and done a lot of really, really good things. He makes us look good. I think our offensive line has made him look good as well. It's been a perfect marriage. But without him, we were a different football team, especially when you don't have time to practice without him. It's one thing when you lose one of your guys and you have a week to practice without him and sort of function without him. When he goes down the first quarter after the first drive of the game, you don't have any time to function without him.
Yeah, your timing's off.
You're trying to figure it out. You're trying to get Brody going. We really put Brody in a really difficult role playing inside linebacker with, in place of Juju. We moved Brody up from the back half. Brody Hernandez is from the back half to inside. So now Brody's got to play 60 plus a game in a very physical, high impact position. So it sort of changed the way we treat him a little bit offensively, because he sort of turned into that Braden Evans type guy and that future Braden Evans type leader, in our defense in that inside linebacker spot.
So with that being said, you take on the attitude of next man up. Who is the next man up at the running back?
Yeah, right now Evan Galavich shows a lot of explosiveness.
Yeah, we've seen that earlier in the year.
And the same thing, as Brody Hernan plays defense, Evan Galavich does not play defense. So he's sort of fresher. He's just practiced tailback. He's got breakaway speed, and he gets more and more savvy
track
every
kid, right?
week. Yeah, track kid is real successful. He placed in the medal, I believe, in the districts last year.
I believe you're right.
He certainly finished in the top 8. So he's explosive, and he's starting to figure out his way. When he's running our perimeter stuff, especially, but he's starting to figure out our gap scheme stuff, and when he gets a crease, he can go. And not a very experienced running back. He's played receiver in the past. But for us right now, it's a perfect storm for him. We talked about that today, him and I. Just making plays. It's a great time for him on senior night to come out and take care of that football and have a really memorable night, because he's got the potential to go at any time.
Now you talk about senior night, Wilson. It's the last home game. I still remember, walking there, meeting your parents there. So how special is senior night? And it could be their last home game.
Yes, absolutely. We have to win out, I believe, to have an opportunity to host a game. That will be certainly our goal, and we're working towards, finishing strong here. But statistically speaking, it could be our last home game. Even if we do win out. So it's the season went so fast. I can't believe we're here in week 8 already, and the weather's colder, and time flies. We've enjoyed the experience with the kids. Those seniors have really helped us build, what we're going to take into 2025 and beyond. So really proud of them, really excited for them. They bought in, the guys who stayed, and the guys who believed and had faith in what we were trying to do. Those guys really did a nice job for us and put us in position here where we have positive energy still going into week 8. A lot of programs don't have positive energy at this point. We still have kids that are fresh. Although a little dinged up, we're fresh overall mentally, and we have a lot of positive energy moving forward here in the Wilson area game.
Yeah, you talk about that. These weeks are a little dangerous, 7, 8, 9, because schoolwork's piling up. It's getting a little colder. It's a little, you think a little bit before you tackle somebody in this cold, that kind of stuff. So,
yeah, the fatigue certainly sets in.
Yeah.
One of the things I talk about, we played 5 of our 7 JV games on the road. A lot of trips, a lot of late night Monday nights for a lot of young kids. And when you talk about young kids, a lot of our kids should be on a freshman team.
Yeah.
And most people, including us, don't have a freshman team now. So these kids are forced into varsity football. They come right from the junior high program to being varsity football players who are participating on Monday nights late. And I see the fatigue in the young kids. So we're trying to keep them as fresh and keep them as interested and as positive and as energized as we can. But this is the time of the year where everybody starts to run down. Coaches are run down, players are run down. But those young kids I particularly worry about. They're going through their first year of high school, their first quarter of high school, first semester, and experiencing varsity football and JV football for the first time. And it's been difficult for them, but we're trying to pull them through.
Yeah, and kudos to the freshmen now, because it used to be you went junior high, freshman. It's a tough sell to say, hey, come out. You may not play your freshman year. So the guys that are here are putting in the work, and it's really commendable.
They are, and there's we're trying to teach them as best we can, and that's you also have to get your varsity guys prepared, but you're trying to teach your young kids what it's like to be a Crimson Tide football player and develop them as you go forward.
I was thinking here, do you have an unsung hero that whether it be a freshman scout team or something like that that you comes to mind in terms of this year? Kind of someone who hasn't gotten a lot of praise, but kind of does a lot during practice to get the team ready.
I think there's a lot of guys, and we've mentioned a lot of guys throughout the show. But I look at a guy. I'll give you one that plays a significant amount of reps. That maybe we didn't expect to. Is Cole Cesari, a junior, big body, really worked hard. Came off season surgery. Worked his way back into playing shape. And then 4 games into the season at Shamokin, Ryan Galen goes down, and Cole Cesari's forced in our second series of the year to be a 2-way starter. When we didn't anticipate that happening, So I really appreciate what he's done, and he works at it, and he never complains, and he plays a lot of football, and he does things. He does the dirty jobs, taking on double teams so Braden Evans and Brody Herndon can make plays.
Sure.
Offensively, working with Jacob Filiak on our right side to really give us a really successful running game so far in the early going here. When we really had an inexperienced line, and really, we all know who Juju Bainbridge is now, but no one really knew going into the season what we had there. So he's really done a great job in terms of that, and I'm really, really proud of him for that. The Brody Arrow, Shea Strunkowski combination in the secondary has really been good. Both of those guys have played for us at safety, both sophomores. The 2 of them started together week 1. Brody started for him week 1, and they started together after that. But those 2 guys, really excited about. But I'll tell you the guy who I think that will become a household name around here is Eli Accardi. He's a sophomore. He's plays every snap of JVs on Monday night. He's played more and more of a role, including starting a game at defensive line for us. He's our 6th lineman up front offensively. He's the first guy into the game. He can play guard and tackle, and he's a guy that's just sort of, the hard working, really tough kid, throwback tough kid, and he's a guy that's done a lot more for our program than anybody would realize here in the first 3 quarters of the 2024 season. Really proud of Eli, and he's not afraid of the weight room. He'll be working hard in wrestling and track season, and he'll be a household name here the next 2 seasons.
That's great. We're going to end with I'm gonna say favorite. So like your favorite school lunch.
Ooh, that would be pork chopette.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
like
that's
that.
solid. Yeah, that's solid. I was gonna go baked potato or the cheesesteak, that one slice cheesesteak.
It's not bad.
What's your favorite play call?
Right now, I like any of our misdirection run stuff.
Okay.
Anyway, we have a couple different things. Any misdirection run stuff.
All right. I was a big 8 and 9 crack as a wide receiver. It was a cheap way to knock out a linebacker. Favorite player you've ever played with?
Favorite player I played with. You know, I go back to my roots and had a real special bond with Adam Belulis at the time.
Okay.
Him and I started along the left side from the fifth game of our freshman year together. He's a really unsung hero, a really good football player. Went on to play in the Stag Bowl, Division III National Championship
Okay.
for Lake Coming
All right.
in 1990 down in Virginia. And you know, Adam is a guy, you know, was a good baseball player as well. And you know, he's a guy that lost track and haven't connected as much. But he back to my high school football days. Adam was a guy I sort of trusted and really felt comfortable alongside.
Yeah, we had a player, God rest his soul, Beasley. Maybe didn't wasn't the biggest guy, but gave you everything and just loved football. So when you're out in the field with them, it was just kind of like, I mean, it would be freezing cold. You know, I'd be bundled up. He was there in a t-shirt. He didn't care, and that's.
Adam never liked to run distances. He just wasn't a distance guy.
Yeah.
He was an inside linebacker and played guard. It reminded me of something I read the other day about Bum Phillips when they said, "Oh, Campbell can't make the conditioning test." And I tell our guys now because Talil has those big legs like Earl Campbell. We talk about the Tyler Rose and that kind of thing, but and they said, "Well, what are you going to do if he hasn't passed the conditioning test?" He said, "Well, I'm not going to give him the ball in first and a mile."
Yeah.
But Adam hated to run distances, but he was a heck of a high school football player and had a great college career as well.
Favorite day of the week?
Friday.
Okay.
I like Fridays.
I'm a Thursday. I think Thursday doesn't get as much.
I like Fridays. I like the high school football.
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
but
I love Friday, but Thursday because I love Friday so much. That's why I like Thursday.
Yeah.
All right. Favorite month?
I like this time of the year. I mean, I'm gonna go out and say maybe October.
Yeah, I'm with you
right now because I love this when the weather starts to change and for this time of the year right now, right until the bowl games are over, New Year's.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is my favorite time of the year.
Best time of year in the Northeast. Well, Coach, let's get a victory here and roll Tide.
Thank you, sir. Roll
Thank
Tide.
you.